What are we going to get into today? Well, today, I got a little situation. My SCR switch that I control my heating element in the still. The SCR switch is, this has a fan built in and it's getting awful noisy. I'm afraid it's going to fail. So I ended up buying me a new one. I've had this one, I built this 5 years ago. And this is the first time I ever had to do anything to it. So I feel like I'm pretty lucky. Alright. So, but first things first. Welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy and this is a channel all about home distillation and brewing. Alright, well let's get into this. Let me open her up. Just so you know, it's got an amp gauge, which to me is very, very, very important. And this is how you adjust it, and an on and off switch. Very, very simple. I'll show you a diagram of what's inside. And like I said before, this one has a fan built into it. If you don't have a fan built into it, you can put another fan inside the box, but you do need a fan because they do get very warm, and if they ain't cooled, they will fail. And like I said, this one's 5 years old, so I can't complain. So really, the only issue I have is that. I mean, it still works, but hey, once it starts making noise, I think the fan will fail. Okay, so all I got, right, here's all the guts in there. All right, let me move my camera so you can see what I'm doing, and we're going to start replacing this switch. All right, the only first thing I need to do is I do need to take the knob off. All right, there's the knob. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now you can see a little bit better. All right, I just undid the screws off this switch here. All right, this is the old SCR switch. And what does that stand for? I had it written down here. It stands for Silicone Controlled Rectifier. All right, need to know that, right? So all I'm going to do is swap this switch for that switch. Everything is identical. All right. And I think I got this off of Amazon. It cost me $35. But you know, that's not too bad. All right. So let me just swap this over. And then what we'll do is, then I will describe what I'll bring out a wiring schematic and show you what it is. All right. And I am not an electrician, just so you know that. Make sure everything's nice and tight. No one. There we go. It would help if I loosen that up. It came unhooked. Nice and tight. That's the pickup coil for your amperage, which you're going to find that is a very, very important. Very, very important. This one has 2 wires going to it. One more to go. Everything else in this switch seems to be okay. Okay, so let me get this knob off and get it mounted back to the lid on this box, and then I'll be right back. And then what we will do is we'll go through how it is wired, just to help maybe understand, and we can look at this and look at the schematic too. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the switch mounted back to the lid of the box. All right, and just to give a, let me move the camera in a little bit closer so you can get that. Okay. Here's a drawing I made up of the switch. There we go. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. All right, this is the in plug, you know, with the prongs. So this is power going in. And basically the power, the white wire will go right to the SCR switch, and of course the black, which is hot, is going to be switched up here with the switch. Okay, and the same time, it's going over to the amp meter, which that's going to power that up. Okay, and then you got the neutral wire, of course. All right, so you'll be able to see the voltage coming into the system, which is basically 120. All right, so coming out of the SCR switch, right, is you got 2 wires coming out, which is going to be your controlled voltage. All right, it's coming out there, so you got a white and a black, and around the black you got this coil. It goes to the amp meter, and it's going to measure how much amperage is going out to your element. And that is very, very, very important, because you can actually dial this thing in to the 10th of the amp or something, I think. All right, so let me show you. Put this down. All right. So I hooked it up to this light here so you can see. Of course, you can't really hook it up to the heating element because it would be dry, and you can't dry fire a heating element. Okay, so if I switch on, it's on. Let me just put this. Let me go ahead and put just a couple screws in to hold this. Give me 1 second, all right? This switch has worked flawlessly for me. Except, and I can hear the fan in there. And I think that's one of the big reasons why this switch has lasted so long, because it has that internal fan. Okay. See, I'm getting 124 volts, no amperage, because I haven't touched that, right? Can you see it? My hand's out of the way. And, so you can see the light. I mean, and it don't take much amperage, you know, to turn that low LED light on. But you can see I can dial that LED light, you know, real dim, the full light, okay? So, that works fine. This is a very simple switch, right? Very easy to make. And hey, you got power in. I plug my heating element up into that. All right. You turn it on and you dial up to the exact amperage that you want going to the heating element. The way I do it is I'll throw propane under my still pot just to help boost up to get the temperature up. I'm running 110 because that's all I got available for me right now. So then once the temperature gets up and it just starts to produce a little bit, I can dial this in and then I shut the propane off. All right, and then I control it the rest of the time with this. You can just inch it up, inch it down. It works fantastic. I can't complain about it one bit at all. But after 5 years, it did start making a little bit of noise, and that's why I was afraid it was going to fail. Because if the fan fails, it's going to fail that switch. So I should be good for another 5 years, hopefully. All right. Okay. Well, that is our repair of our SCR switch that controls our heating element. Okay. So I guess the last thing I got to say is, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing. Cheers, everybody.